Let us commence this module by discussing about WTO. World Trade Organization, that is WTO, in 1995 has paved the way for liberalization of not only trade in goods but also in services. The Agreement on Trade in Services broadens the coverage of WTO operations in fastest growing service sector of global economy. After studying this module, you shall be able to know about WTO agreements on GATS, know different provisions of GATS agreement, understand the different modes of GATS, understand the dispute settlement mechanism in WTO, and learn the decision making process under WTO. Let us now understand about GATS, that is General Agreement on Trades and Services. GATS deal with the Agreement on Trade and Services, that is services relating to banking, insurance, information technology, telecom, health, education, etc. There are 12 sectors and 161 subsectors of services covered under GATS. The agreement dealing with services provide 4 different modes of services across the borders from one country to another amongst member countries under Article 1 of GATS agreement. Mode 1. Cross-border supply of services. Under this mode, the service provider and the service consumer stay in their respective countries and the services move from one country to another country through information technology or through the telecom services, and they are popularly known as e-commerce or business process outsourcing, that is BPO. Mode 2. Consumption abroad. Under this mode, the services are provided in the home country of the service provider and the service consumer has to move from his home country to the country of the service provider, and therefore this is known as consumption abroad. This type of services generally includes tourism, health, education, etc. Mode 3. Commercial presence. In this mode, provider of service moves into the country of the consumer of service through commercial presence by opening a branch office or through business collaboration in the form of joint venture abroad or by setting up a subsidiary company. The examples under this category are Citibank operating in India through its various branch offices or various insurance companies operating in India or Infosys operating in USA through its branch offices. Mode 4. Movement of natural persons. Under this mode, the service provider is not a company but the individual himself who moves from his home country to the country of the service consumer, and therefore this mode is described as movement of natural persons. This involves issue of visa for temporary stay of the person, and the member countries of WTO are thinking of issuance of GATS visa for specific types of services for which commitments are made by them for free movement of natural persons on fulfillment of educational and other technical qualifications. Most favored nation treatment, Article 2. In respect to any measures included in this agreement, every member is to accord services and suppliers of services of that treatment which no less apt than what it attributes to same services and suppliers of services of any different country. There is a provision for exemptions to above provisions, and a member can maintain MFN exemptions normally for 10 years. Transparency, Article 3. GATS provide for publication of all measures which are important and their intimation to councils for service trade. It also provides that request for specific relevant information from any member shall be promptly responded. However, no member is required to provide secretive knowledge which hampers enforcement of law or is in contradiction to the interest of public or which prejudice legitimate commercial interest of any enterprise, public or private. Domestic regulations. Article 6 of GATS agreement provide for harmonization of domestic rules of member countries with regard to the following 3 aspects. First, qualification requirements and procedures. Second, technical standards. And third, licensing requirements. The above regulations should have the following objectives. A. Based on the objective and transparent criteria such as competence and the ability to supply the service. B. Not more burdensome than necessary to ensure the quality of the service. C. In the case of licensing procedures, not in themselves a restriction on the supply of the service. Mutual Recognition Agreements, that is MRAs. Article 7 of the GATS agreement deals with the principles of mutual recognition of educational qualification for cross-border supply of services. However, MRA is a common phenomena in all WTO agreements. For example, MRA are used to recognize each other's product testing and certification procedures. MRAs are seen as a trade facilitation instrument, simplifying the clearance of products to be marketed overseas. Each party commits itself to accepting the reports of each other's conformity assessment authority, designated laboratories and inspected bodies. In the context of services, the WTO's agreement on technical barriers to trade also encourages the acceptance of conformity assessments among members. Article 6. Request or offer approach of negotiation. It is a common approach for negotiation for sharing market access on services. Requests for market access on specified sectors for services are exchanged by trading partners. These are generally followed by initial offers, after which bilateral negotiation seeks to find mutually advantageous results. Thereafter, the member country submits national schedule of commitments as per agreed guidelines. National schedule. Each member nation is obliged under Article 20 of GATS to set out a schedule of specific commitments specifying: first, terms, limitations and conditions of market access; second, conditions and qualifications for national treatment; third, undertaking relating to additional commitments; fourth, appropriate time frame for implementation of such commitments; and fifth, date of entry into force of such commitments. The country concerned has to state the commitments for each sector of services, clearly specifying the mode of services under which such sectors are opened. These commitments are made under a uniform format which provides for sectoral commitments in vertical manner and mode of services in horizontal manner. Progressive liberalization. The provisions for progressive liberalization are contained in Part 4 and Article 19 of the Agreement on GATS. In contrast to many agreements which proved their efficacy from 1995, the GATS agreement has a moratorium of 5 years and it was enforced from 2000 via one after the other stages of discussions. It is provided that the members shall achieve a progressively higher level of liberalization through negotiations on a mutually advantageous basis. There shall be appropriate flexibility for individual developing country members for opening fewer sectors, liberalizing fewer types of transactions and progressively extending the market access in line with their development. Moving on to discuss the dispute settlement mechanism under WTO. Disputes within the World Trade Organizations are basically concerning broken promises. WTO members have been in agreement that if they believe fellow members are violating trade rules, they will use the multi-partite system of subsidizing disputes rather than taking actions unilaterally, meaning enduring by the agreed procedures and respecting judgments. A dispute arises once one country adopts a trading policy live that one or additional fellow WTO members considers to be breaking the WTO agreements or to be a failure to measure up to obligations. A third cluster of countries will declare that they have interest within the case and enjoy some rights. A procedure for subsiding disputes existed underneath the old GATT, however it has no mounted timetables, ruling were easier to damn and lots of cases dragged on for an extended time inconclusively. The round of Uruguay agreements introduced an additional structured method with additional clearing outlined stages within the procedure. It introduced bigger discipline for the length of a time a case ought to be settled, with versatile deadlines set in varied stages of the procedure. The agreement emphasizes that prompt settlement is important if the World Trade Organization is to perform effectively. It sets significant detail the procedures and also the timetables to be followed in succeeding disputes. If a case runs its full course to a primary ruling, it should not unremarkably take over concerning 1 year 15 months if the case is appealed. The unanimously agreed deadlines are versatile and if the case is taken into account pressing, for example, if destructible merchandise are involved, it's accelerated the maximum amount as potential. The dispute settlement mechanism is laid down in the understanding of rules and procedures governing the settlement of disputes. The mechanism will apply not only to disputes arising out of the agreement, but also to the consultations relating to settlement of disputes between the members concerning their rights and obligations. Article 2 of this understanding provides for establishment of a dispute settlement body. The dispute settlement body is an independent body represented by various member countries and gives judgment on trade related disputes amongst the member countries. There is an appellate body consisting of permanent 7 members. Appellate body is set up by the dispute settlement body and broadly represented the WTO membership. Members of the appellate body have 4-year terms. They have to be individuals with recognized standing in the field of law and international trade, not affiliated with any government. Dispute settlement body. WTO's dispute settlement body is responsible for overseeing disputes and their settlement among member nations. The dispute settlement body is composed of representatives of each WTO member meeting together. It has the authority to administer the rules and procedures of the DSU. Thus, disputes between members are referred to as DSB, that is DSU Article 2.1. Dispute Settlement Understanding, that is DSU. Urike Round Agreements setting out new system for resolving disputes in the WTO. It is a short form of the understanding on rules and procedures governing the settlement of disputes. The DSU provides the rules for resolving conflicts between members arising under the covered agreements. Retaliation. It means withdrawal of concessions or trade benefits by one member from another for damage suffered due to violation of WTO established rules and regulations. DSU Article 22 allows for retaliation in the event that a member fails to bring a measure subject to a dispute settlement challenge into compliance with WTO obligations. A right to withdraw concessions also exists in the WTO Safeguard Agreement. Cross retaliation. This is a very effective tool for retaliation for non-implementation of a DSB ruling, which takes the form of a suspension of concessions or other obligations in areas other than that in which the original measure applied. The dispute settlement body can authorize a complainant to retaliate where the respondents fail to implement a DSB ruling or recommendation and where it has not provided appropriate compensation. Article 22 of DSU favors retaliations in the same sectors or, if not, at least under the same covered agreement. However, if such actions is not practicable or effective, retaliation can take place under other covered agreements, and that is why it is known as cross retaliation. Next, we shall discuss the Ministerial Conference. Decision making process. WTO decision making process is set out in Article 9 of the Marrakesh Agreement. It requires the WTO to continue the GATT's practice of decision making by consensus. Where consensus is impossible, voting may be used, with each member having one vote. Different situations under different agreements call for varying majorities to carry a proposition. Green room diplomacy sometimes come in the way of transparency and the democratic pattern of decision making, which needs to be taken care of. Ministerial Conference. Ministerial Conference is the highest decision making body of the WTO. It is a world parliament on all trade related issues which are the subject matter of WTO. It may also be termed as the highest legislature body of WTO, empowered to take any decision by consensus with equal voting right to each member. According to WTO regulations, there has to be one ministerial conference at the interval of every 2 years. At the end of each ministerial conference, a declaration is made setting out the decisions taken and processes of its implementation. Draft Ministerial Text. Draft Ministerial Text, or DMT, is the draft prepared by WTO Secretariat before the start of the Ministerial Conference and is circulated in advance to all the trade ministers of the member countries for their comments. After the receipt of the DMT, the concerned members send their comments or certain proposals for inclusion by modifying the DMT. Generally, a second draft is prepared on the basis of the suggestions received from various quarters of member countries, and the same is again circulated a few days before the start of the ministerial conference. The ministerial discussions start on various important issues as per the agenda set out in the DMT under various subgroups as decided by the Chairman of the General Council and the Director General of the WTO in consultation with the representatives of the member countries. After the formal discussion in the ministerial conference, the DMT is revised and it is circulated in the form of draft ministerial declaration amongst the members. Ministerial Declaration. A ministerial declaration is the final document containing the decisions arriving at the ministerial conference for implementation of various issues relating to WTO agreements on trade of goods and services, including intellectual property rights. However, due to failure of talks at Seattle and at Cancun, no formal declaration could be issued. The ministerial declaration has the same force as in various agreements of WTO, and normally they are the roadmap for further discussions and negotiations in the meeting of General Council and the future ministerial conferences. Ministerial declaration is the result of the discussions which take place on the basis of the draft ministerial text and after the final voting take place on the basis of the draft ministerial declaration. Mini ministerial rounds. Mini ministerial rounds are generally held at various places to discuss certain issues which are the main agenda for the forthcoming ministerial conference. The objective is to achieve the deadline of earlier commitments and to arrive at certain consensus before the ministerial so as to reduce the load and to reach concrete and meaningful decisions. First, Ministerial Conference. The inaugural Ministerial Conference was held in Singapore in 1996. Its main purpose was to begin global effort among international trading nations to build or to rebuild the structure and mechanism of the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade while conserving the ample evolution and achievement by that system since its initiation in 1948. The organization's Ministerial Conference of 1996 was held in Singapore on December 13, 1996. This was the first preliminary meet for the organization members since its formation. Disagreements between developed and developing economies appeared over 4 issues started by this conference. Post these were generally attributed to as the Singapore issues. The Singapore issues attributed to 4 working groups erected during the WTO Ministerial Conference of 1996 in Singapore, namely investment protection, competition policy, trade facilitation, transparency in government procurement. First, investment protection. Investment protection is a vast economic term attributed to any type of guarantee or insurance that investments done will not be missed through fraud or anything like that. Competition policy. Cartels repression, ban of abusive behavior by a firm having a domination over market, supervision of the mergers and acquisitions of huge corporations inclusive of joint ventures. Third is transparency in government procurement. It includes transparency initiated as requirement of holding public officials responsible and battling against corruption. When government meetings are open to the press and public, when budgets and financial statements may be reviewed by anyone, when laws, rules and decisions are open to discussion, they are seen as transparent and there is less opportunity for the authorities to abuse the system in their own interest. Government procurement, additionally referred to as public tendering or public procurement, is that the procurance of products and services on behalf of a public authority like an administrative body. With 10 to 15% of gross domestic product in the developed countries and up to 20% in developing countries, government procural accounts for a considerable component of the world economy. Trade facilitation looks at in what way procedures and controls governing the movements of products across national borders is improved to cut back associated price burdens and maximize potency, whereas safeguarding legitimate regulative objectives, improves the regulatory interface between government bodies and traders at the national border. Second Ministerial Conference. The Second World Trade Organization Ministerial Conference was commanded at Geneva, Switzerland between 18 and 20 May 1998. Third Ministerial Conference. The World Trade Organization Ministerial Conference of 1999 was gathering of the Globe Trade Organization convened at the Washington State Convention and Trade Center in Seattle, Washington, USA over the course of 3 days starting November 30, 1999. A week before the meeting, delegates admitted failure to agree on the agenda and also the presence of deep disagreements with developing countries. Developing countries' representatives became rancorous and uncooperative on being excluded from the talks because the US and also the EU tried to cement a mutual deal on agriculture. The negotiations folded and were unconvened at Doha, Qatar in November 2001. The Doha venue enabled on-the-spot public protest to be excluded. Necessary agenda concessions were created to incorporate the interest of developing countries that had by then further established their own negotiations blocks like the Non-Aligned Movement and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Thus, this round is named the Doha Development Round that has since 2008 remained stalled as a result of divergent views concerning tariffs, agriculture and non-tariff barriers like agricultural subsidies. Anti-globalization activities created headlines round the world in 1999 after they forced the Seattle World Trade Organization Ministerial Conference of 1999 to finish early with direct action techniques. Fourth Ministerial Conference. The fourth ministerial conference was commanded in Doha, a Persian Gulf nation of Qatar. The Doha Development Round was launched at the conference. The conference additionally approved the connection of China that became the 143rd member to AFIX. Fifth Ministerial Conference. The Ministerial Conference was commanded in Cancun, Mexico, aiming at shaping agreement on Doha Round. An alliance of 22 southern states, the G20, led by India, China and Brazil, resisted demands from the north for agreements on the so-called Singapore issues and entailed an finish to agricultural subsidies among the EU and also the US. The goal of this meeting was to line a direction for nations among the World Trade Organization to return to the agreements and negotiations concerning agriculture, non-agricultural market access, services and special treatment for developing countries. The negotiations were alleged to be reached by January 1, 2005. Though the agreement had a set date to return to terms, the Cancun Ministerial Conference concluded up, failing in their mission and did not reply to any firm decision to mend the matter. During the World Trade Organization meeting in Cancun in 2003, there have been varied topics that attracted a lot of attention. From the beginning, there was a large rift between developed and underdeveloped countries on how to deal with various issues where diverse opinions were as follows. First, non-agricultural market availability and access. Second, agricultural reformation, the addition of new items subject to World Trade Organization commitments. Third, services like telecommunication and financial services. And fourth, specialized treatment for developing countries. There were no definite decisions or outcomes on above listed issues that came from the 5-day process. It did, however, progress the ideas forward for the next conference. Many found the ideas were just the start and would provide a good push when the next conference came around. Sixth Ministerial Conference. The 6th WTO Conference Ministerial was held in Hong Kong from 13 December to 18 December 2005. It was considered significant because the 4-year-old Doha Development Agenda discussions were to extend in a sufficient manner to complete the round in 2006. In this meet, countries made an agreement to terminate all their subsidies of agricultural export by the end of 2013 and end any subsidies of cotton export by the end of 2006. Additionally, privileges to developing countries was inclusive of an agreement to introduce tariff-free, duty-free access for goods from the countries which are least developed. Other major issues were left for further negotiations to be completed by the end of 2006. Agenda. Market access. Proponents of a new round appealed sharp cutoffs in good tariffs. Domestic support. Appeals for end of payment which are direct to farmers to produce their products. Export subsidies. EU has made a promise to get over its subsidies that press global prices, but no exact date has been provided so far. Services. Push for restrictions lifting on service sector. Singapore issues. Demands from some rich nations for more transparent laws and better legal protection for trading companies. They had issues relating to investment, government procurement, competition and trade facilitation. The WTO attempted to facilitate dialogue between developing and developed countries. It is a podium that representative states globally can collect to negotiate issues that impact international trade and economic development such as GATT, subsidies on agriculture and equal access to technology. 7th Ministerial Conference. The next Ministerial Conference was held from 30th November to 2nd December 2009 in Geneva, Switzerland. The general theme for discussion was the WTO, the multilateral trading system and the current global economic environment. 8th Ministerial Conference. The 8th Ministerial Conference was held from 15 to 17 December 2011 in Geneva, Switzerland. Membership agreements were made for Russia, Samoa and Montenegro dependent on the ratification of those countries. The consent of Russia's membership was seen as important since the country has been the largest major economy outside the organization since the accession of China in 2001. 9th Ministerial Conference. The last and the most recent Ministerial Conference was held from 3rd to 6th December 2013 in Bali, Indonesia. 159 members of World Trade Organization agreed to the Bali Package, which eases barriers to international trade. Bali Package. The so-called Bali Package, which included trade facilitation, food security and policies to favor least developed countries. India point of view in Bali meet. Food security law may push India's minimum support prices above WTO limits, but interim mechanism provides safeguard till WTO rules are corrected. WTO agreements on trade facilitation could boost India's exports. India begins international leadership by getting an important poor-rich country asymmetry appropriated on a forum which was multilateral. Back to the subsidies given to farmers who are poor in developing countries get safeguards as against WTO rule. Let us now summarize what we have studied in this module. The GATS agreement further extends the trade liberalization regime initiated by WTO under 4 different modes of operation in global trade in services. GATS provisions are complementary to the laid down provisions of TRIPS, AOA and various other agreements of WTO. Unlike GATT, the mechanisms of settlement of dispute through dispute settlement body in WTO provides time-bound resolution of trade disputes arises among member nations. Apex body, which makes decision of World Trade Organization, the ministerial conferences meets at regular interval, generally after a gap of 2 years, to set future direction and progress of trade liberalization. Most recent round of ministerial conference concluded recently in Bali, Indonesia in 2013.